Hey friends, what's going on? So, it's been about a week, and I told you all the next time we would see each other, we would try to either be outside in the front yard or inside at the indoor greenhouse or the propagation station. So, I chose to be inside because it's not warm outside, but it's not cold either. But I want to be inside because I got some things to do. So, I want to take y'all on a really, really short tour of what's in here, what's going on in here right now, what I'm doing today, and most importantly, we're going to discuss what I'm going to be growing uh, for spring and summer 2026, um, and when I'm starting some stuff. So uh, let's get started, and I'll show you what's in propagation station or the indoor greenhouse right now. So first of all, this room is upstairs in my house. It's a spare bedroom. So, yes, there's carpet on the floor. Do I vacuum in here 75 times a day? Yeah, um, because I'm playing in the soil. So, this is where I start all my seeds. I don't start anything outside. It won't be until um, really spring, summer before I even think about direct sowing some stuff. This year, I'm going to direct sow some lettuce and some of the green stalks. I've got a green stalk on the side of my chicken run, and so that one over there is going to be specifically to feed my chickens. So we do give them obviously grains, scratch, all that, little oyster shells in there to help them digest their food. Uh, we'll also be growing some peppers for them because, as you know, if you raise chickens, they can't sense the heat in the hot peppers, but it does help them as far as their health. It aids them in their digestion, and it's just overall good for them. So what we've been doing with the chickens is when we harvest something, like you harvest your broccoli, you got all this, you got a whole plant left over pretty much. So if we don't pull the plant out, sometimes we harvest the head and leave it for side shoots. So right now, since it's cold outside and we know we got some time before we have to put anything else in the garden, um, although I have some stuff to put in there right now. Um, we leave those for the side shoots. However, things like the rutabaga, once you pull the rutabaga out, I mean, you pull the rutabaga out for one, leaves a gaping hole in your garden, which leaves you space for something else. So if you got big stuff that you're planting that have to be pulled out, you are going to have a ginormous hole in your garden. So hope you got something to put in that hole. Otherwise, you're going to have uh, a big old space with nothing in it. And I don't like my garden to look sparse. Um, But anyway, like I was saying, so when you harvest your rutabaga, we usually take the leaves and give those to the chickens. So that's how we feed them. But we supplement that bagged food they're getting with some of the fresh stuff that we're getting out of our own garden. So they are getting their greens. Don't give your tomatoes a bunch of nightshades. Don't give them the leaves from your nightshades. We do give them in the spring and summer. When we have tomatoes and peppers, we do give them that, but we don't give them the stalks or the leaves from the nightshades because there are chemicals in there that could negatively affect your chickens. So, anyway, that was my chicken speech side note. Back to what we got going on in here. So, I've got some houseplant cuttings. I might show you all in a minute because I I did complete the Virginia Cooperative Extension Suffolk Master Gardener Program. Yay. So we have some fundraiser things we do. So we have a plant sale coming up where we'll have house plants, annuals, perennials, herbs, all those things. Calm down, not those herbs. Okay. So I've got some cuttings for some house plants in here that I rooted out because I have about 70 house plants and we ain't talking about any of the stuff that grows in the garden, just straight up house plants. I took some cuttings, rooted them out. In water, it's obviously some pothos and some philodendrons. They are super easy to root in water. Got some cactus cuttings up here from my Christmas cactus, and I got my Thanksgiving cactus downstairs that I got to bring up here. I'm just going to take some cuttings from that, let it callus over for a day, and then put that in some moist soil and let that start rooting out. They're really easy to root. If you have any kind of cactus, you pretty much just gotta lay it on the soil, and the roots will just start bursting out. And girl, anyway, so let's see what we got, and then I'll show you what I'm doing down here. That's on the tripod, and mm, you know, I'm no fan of this, but okay. So, um, if you are not starting any flowers, first of all, here is the whole thing. It is 5 shells, and this is where I start all my seeds. Give me 1 second. I'm going to, here y'all sit right here, stare at the pretty plants, and I'm going to open this up. So while I'm doing this, I'm also going to tell you all it's hot in here. And because it's hot inside this greenhouse, I I did something dumb. So you don't look over there. It's not your business. So while we were on our cruise, we left to go celebrate Mr. Big Daddy's 50th birthday. We were on a cruise for 7 days. I I desperately want to grow American beautyberry. And I've got some seeds started down here that's been in my refrigerator since August. And I just put them in here on the 22nd. So I already got one that germinated. But anyway, so I desperately want to grow American beautyberry. I don't have anybody around me that has any, so I could get a cutting and start it, faster. So what I did, I bought the Pearl Glam Beautyberry. I know that's the Asian one. You don't have to tell me. I know they're not the same. The American Beautyberry is my native around here. But also, besides wanting the Beautyberry for the performance and the function of it, I do like the look of it. I just think it's absolutely striking and amazing. So, got these two Pearl Glam Beautyberries that I ordered from Proven Winners. Don't usually order from them, but here we go. It, if I wanted it, that was my choice. So I got them. And before we left on they came dormant. The plan was I was going to plant them out when we got back from our cruise. They were on the kitchen table. And before I left, I said, well, I don't want any type of situations happening. So any of my plants or starts that I had downstairs on the table, I moved them back up in here into the greenhouse up here. It was too cold for me to sit them outside. Actually, I could have set these outside in the outside greenhouse, but I didn't. I brought them back in the house. I brought them back upstairs. Set them in this greenhouse. Terrible, terrible mistake. Let me show you why. Hope this is showing you the right thing. This is what's happening in this greenhouse right this minute. I've got two hygrometers in here. One says 84.2. The other one says 83.6. Because the greenhouse is open and humidity is going down, these are about 68 to 75 percent humidity when the greenhouse is shut down. Although I have a fan going inside for air circulation, these lights are not supposed to be generating heat. That's why I got them. But here we go, generating heat. So my very dormant plants that should have been planted in the fall, winter, and establishing their good root systems and getting ready to burst forth with beauty in the spring and summer. No, I put them in this greenhouse where it is definitely my manufactured, artificial, faux summer in here. 84 degrees, 70% humidity. That's a summer day at the beach. So what happened? We got back from our cruise and I said, all right, I got stuff to do. Things were not done while I was gone, obviously. I mean, my kids are here, but I don't ask them to go do stuff. They don't have watering down yet. And I was like, just don't touch my stuff. It'll be all right. The Lord got it. It'll rain a few days, I'll be fine. As far as my outside stuff. And the inside stuff, I watered well. I bottom water. So everything was fine in the house, even for that 7 days. I wasn't worried about this stuff. Should have been worried about these two bushes because, Hunte, what did I do? I caused them to break dormancy. So, like I said, the next morning after we got home, I come in here because I got to get to work, right? Come to grab these two Pearl Glam Beauty Berries. I'm gonna show you. Come on, let's go look and see what Stephanie done did. Y'all see them? Leave out. Oh, I supposed to be raising this up. Oh, hold on. Trying to unzip the thing. Sat down, started talking. That is some Murgatroyd, Stephanie. All right. So we got the cover up so we can see what's going on. Y'all see those Pearl Glam beauty berries right there? Let me help you get a little closer. Those are leaves, honey. These things was very much dormant and now they are very much leafing out. Pay attention to what you're doing, y'all. I wasn't even thinking. Also, my whole body was in cruise mode, so I was ready to go. You know, my stuff had been packed for like 3 days in preparation of leaving. Plus, I was on Mr. Big Daddy, riding him about get your stuff packed, get your stuff packed, get your stuff packed. Y'all travel with your husband or your spouse, or your boyfriend, or your significant other, whoever it is, and you got to keep telling this person when you go pack, when you go pack, when you go pack. It took everything in me not to just go in there and just pull his stuff out and pack it for him. But he's a grown up. Although I'm the wife, I know that y'all know I like to do stuff. I'm also a little bit of a control freak. Yeah, which is why I'm real mad at these plants because I lost control. But anyway, so while I was busy being in cruise mode, carnival brain, I wasn't thinking about what I had done. But anyway, back to zip. So I'm also growing multiple flowers to go outside because we got to have the pollinators. And then some of these will also go to the master gardeners. So I also oversee, and my favorite thing to do is pricking out. So if y'all say, oh my God, there's so many seedlings in these trays, I'm going to be pricking them out and giving them their own spaces. So we have cosmic cherry petunias, caramel rudbeckia. This is petunia peace, uh, Gulfrina atomic purple. This is the giant Indian celosia coxcomb. I'm going to turn this tray around so you can see because these about to come out of here sometime today. Well, in a few. This is the Gulfrina globoso mix. Look how pretty these are. Like, look at that. Look at these Indian celosia. Like, yesterday my mom was here. She was like, what is that? It is just so striking. I said, yeah, girl, I know because I got a green fist. But anyway, this is the Buddy Purple Gulfrina, Strawberry Fields Gulfrina. This is the double flower moss rose, Billy Button, which y'all know is Craspedia, Delphinium. Look at that. Look at that. If you know how to get Delphinium to germinate, somebody please tell me. And then these snapdragons. Snapdragons. Look at how many of them it is. Hold on. Let me let you see that. Yeah. So I'll be pricking these out today, but until I do, they got a deep watering 2 days ago. And so this tray is pretty heavy. You can see the whole thing is rocking. And my lights, I've got these are the Back to Basics grow lights. I mean, sorry, Back to the Roots grow lights. And then there's the shop can lights that I got off Amazon. And then these lights here, and these two, this is a shop light here and a shop light here. But if you see the bulb is different, those are Sancy grow lights. And then I forget these two up here. They're full spectrum, and I got them off Amazon. I forgot what they're called, but just they're full spectrum. So it's quite a bit of light. So I start my seedlings up here. And listen, but seedlings don't need, I mean, your seeds don't need light. What I do, I put I'm not turning off lights individually. This whole thing's on a timer. So I've got I put everything in here. It's going to be where it's going to be. So the lights are on while they're seedlings. Some of my seeds need light to germinate. So I don't have them separated out. The ones that need light to germinate are some of these. So they're in this tray in their own individual cells, but I put everything in here, slid it in. I bottom water. So everything's going to be living in here um, until it's time. So right now it's time for everything to get pricked out, but they're all in here. I do put them in here while they're still in the seed stage. They've had humidity domes on them. These are the Bootstrap Farmer trays. They are crazy amazing, like crazy amazing. I'm super psyched up that I have them. I'm not sponsored by anybody, as you know, uh, but I'm glad I made the investment into these because I grow like that. Look, the 5-inch pot, the cell tray, the individual cell trays, the 3-inch pots, like all the stuff. Also, I'm in the middle of converting this room over to straight up my grow room because it's a whole sectional in here. Super nice. With my daughter's furniture from her apartment, but she moved back in here. And so it's time for me to take my room back. Uh, the blessing of having a spare room. I'm going to use it. So anyway, back to, so over here, this is what we'll be pricking out today. Uh, well, we'll be up hiding because I already pricked them out, as you can see. So I've got 18 Godzilla broccoli, uh, 12 Japanese mustards. I planted this Savoy Perfection cabbage, but listen, I have a hard time with this. And at this point, I don't think it's me. I think it's the seeds. So I can't turn this all the way around. Because look, I only have one, two, three of these. I seeded this whole tree at the same time on the same day. As you can see, the 19th of December. Also, today is the 27th. Y'all see the amount of growth? Let me put my hand back here. So I already had pricked these out. I only did 2 seeds per cell, and I don't put the seeds in the same hole. And even though these are the 6 cell trays, I do put like one here, one here. So, oh, look, this one still has both of them in it. So you see, it's a seed in there and a seed in there. That way, when I go to clear it out or thin them out or prick them out, whatever, or whatever you want to do with yours, um, I don't have to pull them out or disturb the other one. I can cut one out without having any issue with the other one. See those Japanese mustards? You see they getting purple at the top? Yes. Can't wait. So anyway, we have 6 of the Morse heading cabbage collards, 12 of the Top Bunch 2.0 collards. Over there, I've got 6 taxoid and 6 bok choy. And everything has a set of true leaves on it. I'm very excited. I'm sorry, not everything, because as you can see, the broccoli has its true leaves coming out. Let me see if I put my finger back there. You see that? That's the true leaf coming back right there. That's right there. But anyway, these things need to be up potted. And I'm gonna tell you why. Although they don't have a true leaf on them. So the Bootstrap Farmer trays have air pruning technology, but y'all, all of these trays are like this. All of them have an amazing root structure. So that's that. Down here, I tried the strawberry spinach from Baker Creek. I seeded a bunch of them, and that's not it. That's those back there. I only got these 2 plants. So I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to put those in a green stalk and let them ride. Lantana take a long time to germinate. I was outside, and guess what I had growing was a sweet alyssum. So I rescued it. It had flowers on it. I cut them, let this stay in here, and continue rooting. Also, I grow anything, y'all. These not the Bootstrap Farmer pots. They some little pots I got from Amazon. But this is the Petunia Dwarf Mix, which I only started these on December 7th, and it's lobelia because I wanted to grow these, and I didn't know how they were going to do in the house. So I said, I'm going to just grow myself a little test pot and see how they look. And I'm actually, like I said, quite satisfied with them. Again, I bottom water. So you see all my stuff is sitting in something because I bottom water everything. is Rosemary. She won't sit up. Listen, she's decided that she's from Who Village. She want to have a gangster lean. I don't know who set she riding with. Uh, but there she go. Got two plants in here from my friend Karen. I actually don't know what they are, but they look amazing. Here's my lantana cutting right there. It flowered while it was in here. The flowers died. I cut them back. Left this in here to keep growing so that I can have. I adore lantana. I can't stop looking at them. They just, I don't know. Then I was outside emptying out another bowl, another pot, and there was a bulb in here. I have no idea what it is because what was in there wasn't from a bulb. So I don't know what this is. So I was like, all right, well, you go live here. We'll see what you come out to be. And then these are some of the Christmas cactus cuttings that I got in here. So they're just in there getting some roots. Now, down here, I'm about to take these things out. These are going to go downstairs. So these are the pothos and the philodendron cuttings that I got from my own plants. They're only in these trays right here so I can walk them down the steps because it's like 16 of them or something like that. But I do bottom water these. Hold on, put y'all down. I'm holding the tripod and put it down right quick. So, and then I'll show you what these are in. So I do bottom water these and I'll show you what I'm doing. So they're in a cup. And these are some cups I had from last year when I started my tomatoes and stuff. So they might have some old words on them. So these cups, I saw online, this guy, he cut slits in the side of the cups. It's slits, like 3 slits on the side. And then this cup doesn't have any opening. So I fill it with water. I fill it like halfway with water, sit it in, let it soak up. And then once it's clear, once it's soaked up enough where I don't see the water moving anymore, um, then I take it out the cup, dump out the water, or sometimes I move the water down to something else and water something else with once I empty out all the cups. So that's a good way to save water and make it work for you. Anyway, over here, what do we have? What do we have? Oh, do y'all know I love coleus? If you ever visited me, you would have seen a significant amount of coleus all over my house. And that is because last year I started 400 of them, which looks like I'm on track for that this year. So these are all coleus. So these also will get pricked out, and it's labor intensive. I'm not going to say I'm going to use all of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the largest ones or the best looking ones and put them in their own seal trays. You see, they already starting to get color on them. Hold on. You see those? Already starting to get some coloring. I love coleus. Like, how can you not? I started my super hot peppers. So back there, the Apocalypse Scorpion. This is the Death Sparrow, and this is the Sugar Rush Peach in the middle. And this morning I came out. Oh, y'all, this just happened since we've been in this room. Y'all see that? What? Y'all see I got some germination. Some German. Wrong one. Right. Oh, Lord. What did happen? Hold on. Since I've been in this room, these two have popped up on my hand in a way. And then that one was popped up this morning when I came out. So I'm very excited about that. In the back, we have right here 6 Copenhagen Market cabbages, and there's cabbage in the back too. I forget what it's called. So anyway, this is the tray. These are the seedling trays from Greenstalk. What you see there, the openings are in the shape of a Greenstalk, each in the shape of a tear. They also have the air pruning technology and a giant hole at the bottom for air pruning and for removal. It's easy to remove. You just put your hand in and pop up the whole seed, the whole thing right up. The bootstrap farmer trays are like that, and for what I understand, so are the Vigo trays and the ones that they sell at Botanical Interest. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm a Greenstalk bootstrap farmer girl, so this is what we got. Especially all the same at this point. The difference is a matter of cost. I love this tray. It's from Green Salt, like I said. And so you bottom water and then you can lift up the whole thing. And then this has so the trays are dirty. I mean the thing's dirty, but as you can see it's got holes in it. So when you lift it up, you're lifting it up out the water and you can carry all your stuff like this. It's great. But do you see how big it is? It's taking up a significant amount of space. Look at the size, the width of this as opposed to the width of the Bootstrap Farmer trays. Like I have way more stuff in the Bootstrap Farmer trays, the 1020 trays there. This is not a 1020 tray. It's I don't even know the measurements of it, but it's big. And then I've also started spearmint peppermint. So they're surface sown. Uh, and then what I do is I keep coming in here and y'all see my little trusted dusty bottle. I just keep coming in and spraying the tops, keeping those seeds moist at the top until I got some germination. Now, the great thing, I know y'all saying, why don't I have a plastic bag or something on top of this to keep the humidity in? You may remember of this video, I told you inside this greenhouse, and I showed you inside this greenhouse is 84 degrees with about 70% humidity. I don't need to put something on top of these to maintain the humidity. Literally, it's a sauna in here. It's a sweet day at the beach. So, like I said, I open it up when I come in here in the morning. My lights and everything come on at 3 a.m. They go off at 7 p.m. So everything in here gets 16 hours of blazing light every day. But it's human enough, I promise you. So I'm about to take out. Wait a minute. I'm about to take these off this tray because it's in my way. It's taking up far too much space. So these two parts are coming out. I'm just going to leave the seedling trays in here to conserve space. So I have more stuff to put in here. Because I'm pricking stuff out. So now I'm about to need more space. Um, I'm going to take these house plants downstairs. They're ready to go out into regular, atmosphere. They rooted. Let me tell you something. Root stuff that if you started your cuttings in water and you let them root out in water, especially your philodendron and your pothos, those are now considered to be water roots. They've only ever lived their life in water. So once you transfer them to soil, you got to keep that soil moist, not soggy, moist, so that it can go ahead and start making that acclimatizing itself to being in a drier condition, the drier condition that soil presents. I don't mean let your plants get dusty, but for the first few days, I would say for about a week while your plant is acclimating itself to being in soil, you got to keep that soil moist. Anyway, so I'm gonna skip the next shelf. I'm gonna throw it real fast. Super bright lights. This light right here. This light is over. Yeah, not all of my business. This light right here is it's a garage light. Look at this. All these come down. It's got a big bright light in the center. I'm sorry, y'all. This light is bright. So in here is where I started my American Beautyberry. There's no drainage in here. The soil was moist. I come and spray the top, and then I close it at night because without the lights on, it's not as warm in here. I close it at night to keep humidity in. Again, I don't really need to do that. And in the morning, I kind of let it breathe. I just take the lid off and just turn it like that, so I got a little bit of openings. And then back there, ignore what you're seeing right there. Y'all see that sweet potatoes? Hold on. Y'all see my sweet potatoes? These are sweet potatoes that I grew last year. Hold on. These are the ones that I grew last year myself. And let's concentrate on it. Y'all see them roots? And my sweet potato slip starting up there. Yes. I'm thrilled about that. And so I've got three back there. three, I'm sorry, it's four sweet potatoes back there that are rooting out. So these will be the, what am I doing? The Beauregard um, sweet potatoes that I grew last year myself. And this is actually the last of them. We ate all the sweet potatoes like recently. I think Thanksgiving we had the last of the sweet potatoes. So these were like some little, not runts, but they were the skinny ones. So they weren't the ones I was necessarily picking first. But I was like, sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes. So they tasted the same. They cured in my garage, and we just kind of left them out there after they cured, and we would just pick them as we needed them out of the garage. So I said, well, these skinny ones, that's not enough for us to eat. Like, who gonna eat the skinny ones? Like, the Big Daddy is a substantial man. It's not enough for him. But it's enough for me to start a whole new generation. So that's what I did. I went and got them skinny ones. Um, and we left our sweet potatoes with the dirt on them after we harvested them, and we washed them off as we used them. So they still had the dirt on them. Some of them still had some roots hanging out the bottom. And I was like, absolutely perfect. Let me introduce you to some water. You are about to restart the next generation of sweet potatoes 2026. Now, did I buy some sweet potato slips? Absolutely did, because I wanted a variety that I had not grown before. So I got the Bayou Bell sweet potatoes from Wood Prairie Farms. I saw somebody else online was growing those, and they suggested Wood Prairie. I'm glad I didn't get them from Burpee this time. And listen, no shade to Burpee, but I feel like their shipping is very slow. And I realize they have an amazing customer base. Probably a ton of people they ship into every day, and then they got to worry about zones. So it's so much to think about when you're shipping plants. So, like I said, no shade to them, but I just feel like even when they say we're going to have them shipped to you by the time it's time to start planting in your zone, I have never gotten my stuff on time, at least not on time as far as I'm concerned. I'm ready to plant, and my stuff is not here yet. I still have a life, and I don't want to be sitting around waiting for, um, sorry, y'all, waiting for stuff to arrive, and I need to plant on specific days. Anyway, I'm just complaining. Ignore me. I'm stepping right now. Not always fun. Anyway, I don't want this video to be 9 hours long. So what we got at the bottom? Down here, there is sage, which are already pricked out into their own individual trays, and they are looking great. They had no transplant shop. This is the Snow White Gumfrina. Yeah, one of them, I didn't have enough. I had 11. So ignore that old. This is this is a takeout dish from somebody's restaurant. You see his holes in it? That is because I multi-sew stuff. So I put holes in it, and I take the lid and put the lid underneath it. And then I bottom water and let the lid be my bottom tray. Here is the time. Started on 12/6. Oh, these gumfrina, I started on 12/12, and the sage the same day. And here is my Swiss chard, which apparently I had 10. Still got 2 holes right there. So they are doing just fine in here. They had no problems with the transplant shock because, again, I multi-sew and then get out. So that's what's in the greenhouse right now. And if you can see, I'm gonna show you. Since we've had it open, the temperature went down and so did humidity, but not a whole lot. It 79.3 degrees and 46% humidity. That's with this thing wide open in this room with the door closed. That's what we got. I keep the door closed to this room um, for no other reason than just I want to keep all the light in here, even though there's a window. But nobody needs to come in here. Like I come in here, my husband come in here, and he only come in here when I be like, babe, come look. So what am I doing today? Today I am breaking out some stuff. So here are my first 2 trays. filled them with soil, and these are in their trays. These are the burpee trays, the 36 and the 16. Um, so I filled them with water. I bottled water. So you see the soil looking nice and dark and black. Yes. What soil is this? This is the y'all all in my dish. This is the Coast of Maine soil, the growers mix. I really like it. It's got quite a bit of stuff in it. I'll tell you what's in it. It comes in. Hold on. In this bag, which is 1.5 cubic feet. Ah, so in case you're looking, this is it. This is the Coast of Maine growers mix. And when it says high performance, it means it. Y'all see the dates on the stuff that I planted? And you see how it's looking? This stuff ain't been in here. Some of these things ain't been in here a whole 15 days. They have not experienced 3 weeks in this house. And they already big enough to the point I have to pot. So let me tell you what's in this. This is the Stonington blend, Coast of Maine, crafted for high performance plants. This mix contains lobster shell meal, peat moss, compost, coconut coir, mycorrhizae, and worm castings. What else could I possibly put in here? Um, what else could I possibly put in this to make it uh, any better? Hang on, y'all. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So that's a good soil. It's expensive though. If you are not interested in using the Fox Farm because of the cost, you don't want that one either. Uh, but I will tell you in the past, so this year, I've been growing all my stuff in this coast of Maine, and I see the difference. In the past, I've always grown everything in some Miracle Grow, and I've had no problems with it at all. So I know some people have an issue with the company Miracle Grow. That is what it is. But whatever your blend is that you use, if it's working for you, then it's working. And don't trip about trying to get some super expensive soil, or just use the soil that's been working for you. It's about your timing, your variety, and getting your stuff started. So that's all you got to do is get started. Um, so what I'm doing, and y'all might be asking, why do I have these plants started right now? Why am I up potting them? It is December the 27th, and I'll tell you why. So the stuff outside is coming to its end. It's been through a few freezes, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to up pot these broccoli, stuff I showed you in the Nebraska tray. I'm up potting today, and these things are not going to go outside until early February, maybe somewhere around the 15th, mid February. Uh, we'll be past the really, really, really cold times. And then our last frost is around April 20th here, which means if I put these out, they'll be outside. Once they go out, they'll have 60 days. A lot of your brassicas have like 50 to 70 days of maturity. So guess what? I'm starting them in December to put them out in February. They'll be in the house growing for this next 2 months in primo conditions. Then I'll start acclimating them, hardening them off. They'll be nice and big by the time I put them outside. And then that last 60 days will basically be the home stretch for them to just grow. Also get out my way and free up my propagation seedling indoor greenhouse. And then I'll have a whole nother harvest. But the same day I put these outside, I will also come back in and I'll be starting my spring and summer seeds that day. So yeah, that's that. So I'm super excited about that. Like I said, so that also means I won't ever have a gap in the garden. I don't like to see big open empty spaces. I'd like to keep it planned out, looking full. I want to have something always growing, um, and I feel like always growing is a good thing. If it doesn't work for you, everybody doesn't want to garden 365 days a year. Some people ain't with the cold. So if you don't want to do fall and winter gardening, girl, don't. You know what you can do is get you some milk jugs and start winter sowing. You can do that in the house and then run outside, put them jugs outside, and come on back in. And they're outside doing what they need to do without you. Every now and then you need to go make sure you see some condensation on the side and that they're getting water, that they're moist. That is it. That's it for your winter sowing. So anyway, like I said, I'm just trying to keep the healthy rotation. Y'all, I'm real mad about these Pearl Glen beautyberries because now they have to stay in the house until they're large and until spring. I literally can't take them outside because the cold is going to kill them because they broke dormancy. They should still be awake. And here I am tapping them on the shoulder like, wake up. It's 84 degrees. It's 70% humidity. Let's go to the beach. Stephanie, I be Stephanie. Don't do it. Don't be me. So anyway, last thing I'm gonna show you, and then we're gonna dip out. Um, and then I have one more video for 2025. Let's show you the last thing. Okay. And it's not something exciting. I'm just showing you the last thing I'm doing today. What am I doing? Maybe 2026 will be a better year for me to hold my camera. I don't know. Let's pray for me. So this is what's left. All right. Oh, yeah, I'm about to, like I said, I'm pricking stuff out today. So trays. I'm about to fill up this tray. And I just, I filled these up last night. I just put humidity down on them just so they can stay juicy because they're not in the greenhouse. So these are the Bootstrap Farmer uh, 3-inch pots. I went ahead and bought them watered. So I put my soil in dry and then it's easier and faster, honestly, to do it dry. It's not messy. I put them in dry and then I bottom watered them last night. So for me, doing this takes a bit of prep work. This is last night work for today, work, but it is what it is. I came in here this morning, checked the soil, made sure it was nice and juicy. It's not soft and wet, y'all. It's just moist enough that I can go ahead and put I can go ahead and pot up. So this is enough to do all 18 broccoli. And I've got the 12 Japanese mustard. I'm sorry, I'm going to do the 18 collard greens over there. And then I'm going to also over here, I've got 6 tatsoi, 6 bok choy. They're going to go in there. These cells are really big. They're actually really big. And then some of those flowers I'm going to start doing in here in the 36 cells because they're not that big. They're actually about the same size as cells they're in, same depth. But it's so many of them in one cell, I have to separate them out. So that, my dear, is what I'm doing today. So I hope you got something going at your house. If you don't, let's get started. If you need some help, hit me up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, ask me a question, say what you got to say, what's on your mind, what you're doing. I want to know what you're growing. Hit me up and we can go through this process together. So, like I said, I got one more video this year, probably come out in the today's the 27th. Oh, I guess I only have a few days to get that rolling. So probably tomorrow. And I'm going to show you all my seed lineup for 2026. So anyway, y'all, that's it. That's what we got going on in here. Y'all have a good day. Be well, be blessed. Go get your handful of seeds and a fistful of soil. Oh, and a container of some sort, preferably with some drainage, and grow yourself something. Anyway, I'm here for you. Let me know. Again, like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, tell your mama, your daddy, your aunts, your uncles. You going to the family reunion? Girl, take this video with you and show these people. Anyway, I'm out. I'll holler. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.